So you've been wanting to sell your home for a while now, but has been discouraged because of high interest rates and you just don't know where to go. Well, if you don't know already, my name is Gabby Maxino. I'm a real estate broker in North Central Jersey, and I'm here to help you with your dilemma. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 4 steps that you need in order to successfully sell your home and buy at the same time. First and foremost, it is very important for you to know the local market where you're selling and buying. It is important for you to understand the local market so that you can time your sale and the purchase of your new home. The length of time it takes for you to buy and sell at the same time really depends on the local market. So it is best for you to consult a local real estate expert who can talk to you about market trends and just the overall market analysis of what's going on in your neighborhood and where you're buying next. An experienced local agent will not only help you determine how much your house is worth, but they'll also be able to talk to you about timing, negotiation, and strategy. So I'm going to give you a rundown of the 2 different types of market, which is a seller's market and a buyer's market. And in simple terms, when it's a seller's market, it simply means that there's not a lot of homes for sale and there's more buyers out there, which means that the sellers have an upper hand and buyers don't get to negotiate as much. And the opposite of that is a buyer's market, which means that there are more homes for sale than there are buyers. So there's a lot of homes that the buyers can choose from, which means that it is a lot easier for a buyer to negotiate because they know that there's another home out there that they can bid on if they don't get this house. And now that you have contacted a local real estate expert and you have a better understanding on the market that's going on in your neighborhood or where you're buying, you need to get your finances in order. And with this, unless you are paying cash to buy your next home, it is best for you to contact a mortgage advisor who can help break down how much you need in order to buy your next house. And talking to a mortgage advisor early on will help you understand your budget, potential loan options, and your financial feasibility to make this actually happen. And to help, here are some questions that you need to ask your local real estate agent and your mortgage advisor. 1. How much equity do I have on my home, and how much will I net after I pay all the taxes and the fees that I have to pay in order to make this actually happen? Your real estate agent would be able to give you a seller's net sheet so that you can understand an estimate of how much you should be taking home, assuming that you get X amount they think your house should be worth. Second, you need to know, do I need to sell my home before I can purchase a new one? There are many reasons why you would need to sell first in order to buy a new one. This is a question that's geared more towards your mortgage loan officer if you're going to obtain a mortgage in order to buy a new one. And there are many reasons why you would need to sell first. Some of those reasons may include you need to sell your home in order to have proceeds to then put a down payment on your new home. And if it is determined that you need to have the proceeds of your sale before you can buy a new one, remember that if you're trying to do this at the same time, meaning you're trying to have the closing of the sale of your home and the purchase of your home on the same day, remember that you also need enough asset to pay for the initial deposit to reserve the house for you for the new home that you are purchasing, even though that's part of the down payment. And that's typically 1 to 5%. The higher, the better. And of course, if you are competing against many buyers and you are in a seller's market, then you need to make a very strong offer right on the get-go. And a lot of the times, one aspect that can make an offer strong is if you put a high deposit. So that's one that you will need to make sure you have. You also need to make sure that you have enough in order to pay other third-party vendors, such as your home inspectors, and order a bank appraisal. That's just a few of the things that you need to take into account when you are looking to purchase a new home and you need the proceeds of the sale of your current house in order to buy. And another reason why you may need to sell your home first before buying a new one, you may not qualify to have 2 mortgages at the same time because of your debt to income ratios, meaning your income is not sufficient enough to be able to hold both mortgages at the same time. And before I continue, did you know that if you have lived in your home for over 2 years, you may be eligible for a capital gains exemption? And what does this mean? It means that you may be able to avoid paying taxes on your capital gains up to $250,000 if you're a single person and up to $500,000 if you are married and filing jointly. To learn more, click the link in the description. So now that you know everything when it comes to your finances, you know the local market, now you have a few options. Your first option is to buy with your savings. If you're in a financial position to do so, then the simplest option is really to use your savings in order to buy your new home. And that could simply mean that you will use your savings to make a down payment in your new home, or you may be able to just pay it all in cash. But keep in mind that you'll still need money for your closing costs, inspections, and moving expenses. The second option is to make a home sale contingency offer. This means that you'll only buy the home if you're able to sell your current home. Sale contingencies work best in buyer's markets, but if you have no other option, that's something that we would just have to present to the seller of the home you are purchasing. Just take note that in a seller's market, it is much harder to get your offers accepted if you have a home sale contingency. So we need to create a strategy on how we can make other terms of your offer more compelling, whether that's upping the purchase price, waiving some contingencies, in order to balance out your offer with the home sale contingency that you're going to be putting. Your third option is to ask for a use and occupancy or a rent back. If you do not have temporary housing, you can ask your buyers to allow you to stay up to X amount of weeks after closing while you wait for the closing of your new home. 4, you can request an extended closing date. So if you're confident that your home is going to sell and you're in a seller's market within 30 to 45 days, then you may just ask the home seller to extend your closing date to maybe 60 or 90 days in order to give you ample enough time to close on your current home. But just like with contingent offers, you have more success in doing this in a buyer's market. And lastly, you may just have to find temporary housing while you figure out a way how to buy and sell at the same time. Yes, you'll have to move twice, but sometimes closing on one and then closing on the other, not at the same time, is a little less stressful. And it takes the pressure of the timing and gives you some time to really find a home that you love. So now that you have done the first 3 steps, the last step is really all about coordinating with your real estate team. Work closely with your real estate agent and your mortgage advisor, real estate attorney, and any other professionals that you need in order to make this all happen. Keep everyone in the loop, communicate with everyone, because this will make the transaction a lot more smoother and a lot easier to navigate. So that wraps up your guide to selling and buying a home at the same time in New Jersey. If you find this video helpful, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and share it with anyone who you think is having a hard time navigating through this process of buying and selling at the same time. If you have any questions or if you want me to cover any other topics, then you can always drop them in the comments below. And thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys soon.